My name's Rodolfo. I go by Dolo. I'm originally from San Juan Capistrano. I moved to Nebraska when I was like 10 years old, and then I moved back about a month ago. I have a clothing brand called Indomita Fames. It's Latin for untamed hunger, and I'm learning how to sew, stitch, and make my own clothes as well. I met Roman by soccer. We started training together back in like 2021, 2020, around there. We always train together, hustle together, and since then we been collabing creatively. So yeah, I've always been into clothes probably since like high school. I wouldn't say I've always knew about fashion. I wouldn't say I was into like Virgil Abloh, like Supreme and all that. I just started getting into it like the actual fashion industry probably around like 3-4 years ago. I got into it because I saw it as a way of expression, a way of expressing myself, and not just that, but the differential of me and other people. I enjoy making it. With my clothes, I've always gotten the compliments of what I do, so I thought about making my own stuff. Maybe other people would like that too. And yeah, that's why I make clothes. Make that to inspire, create, and just expressing myself. I think some of the challenges I face as an upcoming clothing brand owner would definitely be trying to navigate my regular work life with trying to stay creative and not burning out while still putting in as much hours into my brand than to my life and work and etc. Kind of balancing, making sure that I'm still putting enough energy and effort into making new drops consistently. I'm coming this next month. I got one coming in, but I want to build momentum from that and just keep going. So I'll definitely say balancing work life with my creativity, not burning out, and then I would say for me right now, financial. Using the same money I made from the last bulk order to kind of use that for the next bulk order and just kind of repeating that, investing into that. So yeah. So with my clothing, my brand as well, I've kind of tried to, a lot of European brands use a lot of American brands for their inspiration, and they have their own thing, but no one has actually brought like European culture to the U.S., which I think would be super sick. I previously went to a fashion show in Milan last year that kind of inspired me the way I look into fashion. Just the whole creativity about it, and why not bring that this way? Kind of broaden up our fashion and not just the regular culture, just sandals, pajamas, going out. Trying to actually represent yourself by what you wear. Not being judged by it, but just expressing yourself. Everyone has their own creativity in a different way to how they look. Can look a lot more sick to how I look, how one looks. So inspiring them to be more authentic in their clothing and the way they express themselves would be sick. So yeah.
And why, or what about your story do you think can inspire someone?
Something about my story, I definitely would say, I definitely got a lot of inspiration as well from as a little kid. Like I used to wear like and and the shoes that people would ask like what are those in the little memes. So I would say even just staying true to what you want to wear. I would say I was definitely trying to follow trends back then, and I just became my own person. So becoming your own person and what you truly believe in, what you wear, would I want to inspire that to other people instead of just being followers.
So would you say you being you can inspire someone to be them?
100%. I know that in a way I'm a very different in the fact that I'm always joyful. I'm always very expressive of my emotions. No matter where I'm at, I don't try to fit in. I'm always a little, you can't tell by me in camera right now, but I'm always a little goofy person. And yeah, it's Roman. Would still just being like that around everyone. Whether around serious people, around people, older people, younger people, just staying true to myself and I guess my joyfulness for sure. Alright, so right now one of my bigger goals is I've definitely been getting into making my own clothes. So stitching, getting it off of just used jeans, used shirt, bandanas, making my own stuff. I've been working on learning how to do cadet hats, how to do tote bags, handbags, etc. But right now with my brand, I kind of want to have a different style of where I do my certain bulk orders for my brand, but on the side do my own designer stuff. So essentially I want to do a fashion show with just a bunch of inspiration. So I'm into anime a lot. I get a lot of my inspo from anime, music videos. I don't really watch movies like that, but I would definitely say a lot of my inspo comes from anime, music videos, and kind of use that inspiration to make a fashion show in a way where people have never seen. So I would say that's one of my goals for individually for my bulk order or for my clothing brand. Sorry, I would definitely want to do something more where it's just worldwide, like world where we're just traveling the world, making different drops, different campaigns that have a story to it. So I don't want my clothes just to be clothes. I want my story to have meaning and just creativity behind it. So be probably top brand all over the world, not just in the U.S. and have one of my biggest goals right now that I have for my brand is to have a collab with Nude Project, or either Nude Project, Cortez, PDF. Those are probably my like top 3 brands that I really inspired by, I guess, and just love how authentic they are. So having a collab with one of those brands would be amazing. Yeah, that'd be sick. A little bit more of my smaller goals that I would say is I've been trying to hit 10K a month on one of my drops. That's probably like we hit close to 5K on our last one, so obviously I can't count that, but 10K is a little more of a challenge than 5K for me. I believe we can do 5K already in a month on first drop, so hit 10K. Another one of my bigger drops would definitely be have collabs with certain soccer players that I've looked up to. So I also got inspired by, before match days, the athletes, they walk into the room with the flyest fit, looking all good, ready, confident to play. Eventually have one of one pieces that I make have like the top player in the world at that time walk and be posted wearing my stuff. So definitely that. And I believe that 100% because I know that I'm dedicated to what I do. I know that I take enough time to just put enough thought to it where I just put all my energy into making sure that I want that to become my main life, my main income, my main everything, where I'm obsessed. I'm obsessive with it. So I would definitely say that I believe in myself to achieve that. And not just because I'm saying it, but because I know that my works will bear fruit. So I know that everything I've been doing leading up to this, going on forward, will come back to favor me. So I'm confident in that. I do believe in manifestation. I use it myself whenever I have an app or I write my own like words where affirmations where I'm just basically reminding myself that I'm grateful for what I already have, believing that I already have everything that I'm trying to achieve, right? So essentially it's just believing that you're already the artist that you want to be, you're already the creator that you want to be, you already dropped 10K a month, you've already had all these collabs. So I daydream about that daily. If not, then I weekly, daily, to every day, I just kind of obsess about it, like I said. So I do use manifestation. I grew up definitely learning already as a young kid, going through tribulations, trials, trying to learning how to deal with that as a little kid. I grew up with always moving from home to home, different parents with different parents, and so that definitely affects you as a little kid. But I also believe that it was a blessing, everything I've gone through, from not having money to moving away from California because we were too poor. All that kind of brings a big fact into why I am the person I am now. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler in everything I do, and I believe that because I started with nothing. It's like there's a saying, what can I lose if I started with nothing? And I've always gone by that since everything that I've gone through has led me to become the person I am today, and I'm fully grateful for it because it definitely made me to just dream higher, dream bigger, not settle for less. When you come from a childhood like I did, you don't get comfortable in certain situations. You strive to just overachieve everything that you do and over believe in what you can to not just provide for yourself but for everyone around you, to make sure that my lineage won't ever have to go through anything like that. So I would definitely say growing up the way I did through all the hardships was one of the biggest blessings. It puts a different perspective into your mind to make sure that everyone around you will always be taken care of. And I'm also driven by that. I'm driven by my parents sacrificing everything they've done for me to just be able to be in the moment that I am right now here in Roman's room. So I'm grateful for that. I think one of my best memories as a little kid would definitely be, it's weird to say, it's kind of weird to say, but going on a bus with my mom. My mom never had much, so she would always take us on we had no car or anything, so we'd walk everywhere. But going on a bus and going everywhere and her buying us everything we wanted, even though she had nothing. So I think there's a lot of meaning to that. Knowing that a love can distract you from your hardship. So it's deeper than just going through something, but love covers a lot of distractions that can distract you, like I said. So that a hard thing that I would say was definitely that same mom, her having to leave us because of certain family situations, and being abandoned by her. So it takes a toll on you as a little kid, and it also definitely takes a toll on you growing up because of like trauma things that you have to overcome as you get older that can still affect you to this day. So yeah. In 1 year, I believe, and I think me and Roman about to be running LA, running California. Like I said, I just moved here, so I'm already trying to get my name out, network, word of mouth, my clothing brand, word of mouth, my everything that I do, and give it a year or so, and we're there collabing with top brands in LA. In 5 years, I see myself in Europe. I see myself already working with bigger creators in Europe. I think that's plenty of time to be able to work and hard. Like I said, I believe in God a lot, and sometimes our plans are not what God wants, but I believe that that's something God would want from me. As long as I keep working the way He wants me to, keep using the ideas that He gives me, because a lot of the ideas that we get come from God, and you got to be able to put those out there, because those ideas that come from God can inspire other people to use their ideas that are in their head. So 5 years and in 10 years, I still see myself. I see myself being a boss, having a lot more of a freedom in my life, and managing my clothing brand still from a bigger aspect. So yeah, I would say one of the biggest highlights of my clothing brand so far would definitely be this last drop. The best part of it, I think, would say was creating the whole campaign. It was my first time actually putting all my thought into something, as in from building the rollout video to even just driving over there. Me and one had we drove over there. He was part of the shoot, and just kind of being like the creative director of what was going on. I mean, I never really thought I would be in that position like 5 years ago. So to be able to manage the group, the models, have them in certain places, come up with the idea of the rollout video was definitely super fun. It gave me that more aspiration to just keep going, keep creating stuff. It was sick. It was sick, especially like just creating. I think I had more fun creating the campaign, enjoying the time of the models, than actually getting the sales. The sales have never been the biggest part for me. It's been more of getting my creativity out there through my storytelling, through my clothes, and through me. So I would say that's one of the biggest highlights. One of the smallest would probably be the funding. There's so much ideas that I have that are backtracked because certain finance I'm not able to use for certain ideas that I have. So I would definitely say that. And in the beginning, when I first started my brand, I was definitely someone that cared more about what people thought about me, and them not liking my brand can play a big fact if you care too much about what people think about you, which I'm still getting used to, but I've definitely overcome at least that. But it's because it's something that you create out of your heart, out of your mind. So for someone not to acknowledge or appreciate what you've created can be a little bit tough on you. So I would definitely say learn how to not care what other people think about you. Create out of your heart, your mind, your soul, and what you make is always gonna be fire no matter what. And just keep perfecting it. I would definitely say to other people that want to start, just start. Like everything could get perfect. The when you keep going, you know. Like I remember making my first mock-ups. Right now, looking back at it, they're shit. You know. Right now, what I think is amazing could be shit in 2 years. You know, in my mind. But everything I've made has always come from trying to make something perfect, trying to make something beautiful for other people to see and use. That way, when they wear my stuff, they feel like the coolest person in the world. They feel like they can rule the world. You know, that's what my clothes is made for. So yeah. Growing up, I never had anyone around me, creative wise, to just inspire me to make some stuff. It was more of just me having like my own style, learning what I like, what to wear. And I wouldn't say until like maybe 2 3 years ago, I had a couple friends from college that um, you could just tell when someone doesn't really care about what they wear, or you know, trying to get approval from other people. And I really like that authenticity, so I kind of just stopped caring what other people thought about me and got into my own stuff. But I would say right now, as a matter of fact, Roman, you know, coming into me and him having very close for the last like 4 years, and just seeing how driven he is into what he makes, how he makes perfect. You know, I was, you know, with him when he first started, not with him, but around him when he first started his first stuff. And seeing his growth has been super sick. Like every time I'm around him, I definitely feel like I'm feeding off of his energy, as in it's very positive. You know, when I'm around him, I definitely feel like I can achieve my own stuff right now at this moment. So my biggest, I would say, inspiration around me would be Roman for sure. I would say use everything that you usually enjoy day to day life, right? So if you're someone that enjoys, let's say, like for me, instance, I've used this already. I love anime, right? So I get a lot of my inspo from there, a lot from inspo from the anime characters. As in, let's say I say you like different type of. Let's say you just like reading books or movies, certain movies. Let's say you like Avengers. You know, use certain inspiration that you like from things around you. That's what I do. I kind of get references from just ideas that I'm around every day. I don't like really copying, but I like staying true to how I make my stuff. So I would say use what you got around you. Kind of think outside the box, but also just start sometimes. What I'm realizing right now, as I'm designing my own stuff, making my own, trying to learn how to sew, is just doing it. You know, I went from making my first handbag to trying to make my first hat, and keep trying to perfect as you do it. Don't wait for the right moment. You won't. There will never be a right moment. The right moment is whenever you start. So I'll definitely say just doing, working, repetition. Get your reps up on what you want to do, what you like to do, what you like to design. Yeah. I think a point I would make it would be I've seen myself. I visualize this a lot. Like I said, manifesting, not just that, but I daydream a lot. I would definitely say after a huge fashion show full of celebrities, athletes, people that have inspired me throughout my journey, clapping at me as I'm walking after one of my fashion shows in Europe, and in a spot that would definitely be out of this world. So at that moment, I think I definitely make it. You know, I've made it because having everyone that I've inspired to be around me in an area where I just had the whole fashion show to myself, and they're there to see what I've done and what I've made, would definitely bring that joy and that accomplishment to me. To my younger self, you're doing amazing, man. I mean, I would definitely say you didn't let no one kill your joy. You know, no one ruining your spark and not letting other people's thoughts get to you. You're definitely where you want to be right now. Um, and I didn't say everything you're going through right now in that moment is meant to be so you can be the exact seat as I am right now. My future self. Fuck. Can you cut it right there? To my future self, you've achieved everything I wanted. You know, you've achieved everything that I always dreamed to have. Or I dreamed to have. I definitely, I see you're doing amazing. I see you haven't changed your true self. You're still helping other people, no matter what, no matter everything you've gone through from now to then. You've always stayed true to yourself. I'm happy for you, for everything you've done, for the family that you have around you, for the slower life that you have. You know, being able to just enjoy your freedom, making sure that your kids and your family have to never go through what you went through as a little kid. And just congratulations for making it, my guy.